Hello everybody. We are going to start the second chapter, that is Gauss theorem. In that, first of all, we will see about certain terms. One is your area vector and the other one is electric flux. So let us first of all talk about area vector. Area vector is a vector quantity whose direction is always normally outward to the plane of a surface and magnitude is equal to the area of that surface. What does this mean? Let us consider a surface. Okay, so this is a plane surface. Okay, if we are talking about the plane of this surface, then we may say that the plane of the surface is like this. Okay, the surface which we have taken, okay, this oval surface which we have taken, the plane of this oval surface is like this. Now, if we are considering a vector which is having a direction normally outward to this plane, okay, so this is the vector which is having the direction normally outward, okay, and the magnitude of that vector will be area of the plane. It means, area of the surface. It means we'll take the area of this oval surface and that will be the magnitude of that vector. So such a vector is termed as what? Area vector. So I hope now you have understood this, that a vector whose direction is normally outward to the plane of the surface. Okay, this is the surface, the plane was like this and direction is normally outward. That is denoted by n cap. And magnitude is equal to area of the surface. Here you can see that A is representing the area of this oval surface. Okay, so magnitude into direction, that will give us what? A vector A, that will be known as area vector. Okay, so always remember that area vector will have its direction normally outward to the plane of any surface, and magnitude of that area vector will be equal to what? Area of that surface. Now let us move to the next one, electric flux. Electric flux. Before starting this, let me remind you about the term electric line of forces. I have discussed about this in the previous chapter. Electric line of forces were the imaginary lines which used to represent the electric field. Okay, they were just a imaginary hypothetical line with the help of which we used to recognize or represent the electric field. So what is electric flux here? What is the meaning of electric flux here? Electric flux is basically the measure of the electric line of forces which are passing through some surface lying in the electric field. Okay, if there is a surface lying in a electric field, suppose this is an electric field, this region is having an electric field, the direction is shown here, and we have considered a surface which is lying in this electric field. Then how many line of forces are passing through this surface? The measure of those line of forces is only known as what? Electric flux. Okay, the measure of those line of forces is only known as electric flux. Mathematically, electric flux is represented by the expression phi is equal to integral E dot dA. Phi is equal to integral E dot dA. Phi is what? Phi symbol is representing the term electric flux. Okay, phi symbol is representing the term electric flux. E is the electric field in which the surface is lying. dA, the dA is the small element of the area vector. How this expression has been obtained, we'll understand in this diagram. As I've told you that there is an electric field in which a surface is lying. So to calculate the total amount of electric line of forces, we will have to perform the integration operation here, because the surface is not uniform and the electric line of forces which are passing from this surface, they cannot be directly added or multiplied. So we'll apply the integration process to calculate the total number of electric line of forces which are passing through this surface. And for integration, we used to consider a small element, and then we used to integrate that small element to find the total value. This I have taken such example in the previous chapter also. So let us consider a small element of this surface. Okay, you can see here, this is the small element of this surface. We have taken a small element of this surface. So this small element will have a small amount of area. So dA is representing what? dA is representing the small amount of area of this small element. The area vector of this small element surface is your dA vector. Okay. If we are considering total surface, then we will have the area vector as vector A. But here we are considering a small element of this surface. Therefore, the area of this small element will be, area vector of this small element will be dA vector, and area of this small element will be dA. Okay. And this is your electric field which is passing through this small element. So we will integrate the electric line of forces passing through this small element, and when we will keep on integrating, finally we will get the total number of electric line of forces passing through this whole surface. So from here only we have got this expression, phi will be equal to what? Integral E dot dA. Here remember that I am saying E dot dA. E dot dA means what? That between E and dA we are applying the dot product. Okay, between E and dA we are applying the dot product, and we know that if there are two vectors A and B, so the dot product of those two vectors will be what? AB cos theta, because for dot product we used to take cos theta. Therefore, between E and dA vector, when we will apply the dot product, we will get E dA cos theta. So this expression phi is equal to integral E dot dA will further become phi is equal to integral E dA cos theta. Now you can see that cos theta and E, these two will be the constant quantity. The electric field is not going to change. The value of cos theta is not going to change. So electric field E and cos theta, that will be your constant quantity. They will be taken out. But this dA, okay, a small amount of area of this small element will keep on changing, will keep on increasing. Therefore, dA will be inside the integral sign, and we will integrate this. So phi will be equal to integral E dA cos theta, which will be further written as E cos theta integral dA. And as I have told you, when you will keep on integrating this dA, finally it will give us what? The total surface area of this surface, that is A. So this equation will finally become phi is equal to EA cos theta. After integrating this dA, we will get what? Integral dA will be equal to A. A is the total surface area of this surface. Okay. So integral dA will become A. So we will write here A. So finally we will get phi is equal to EA cos theta. So this is the magnitude of electric flux. Phi is equal to EA cos theta. If you have to find the electric flux, of any surface lying in an electric field, then you will apply this formula. Phi is equal to Ea cos theta. Now let us take certain cases. First one is when theta is equal to 90 degree. When theta is equal to 90 degree, it means what? That the surface which is lying in the electric field, it is perpendicular, it is totally perpendicular to the electric field. The plane of the surface is totally perpendicular to the electric field. Suppose the electric field plane is considered as this whiteboard and the surface is placed like this. It means what? The plane of the surface is totally perpendicular to the what? Totally perpendicular to the electric field. In that case, what will happen? The angle between dA and electric field E, okay, it will be 0 degree, and we are taking theta equal to 0 degree. See, if the surface is like this, then what will happen? This will be your area vector, okay, and the electric field is also like this only. Is that clear? This is the surface which is perpendicular to the electric field, and the area vector will be perpendicular to the surface. It means area vector will be parallel to the electric field. So the angle theta, which is the angle between area vector and the electric field, that will become what? 0. So when theta is equal to 0, that is surface, plane of the surface is perpendicular to electric field. Then what will happen? According to this equation, phi will be equal to Ea cos 0. We know cos 0 is equal to what? 1. It means phi will be equal to Ea maximum. Is that clear? Similarly, when theta is equal to 90 degree, means the plane of the surface is parallel to what? Parallel to the electric field. Okay. The plane of the surface is parallel to the electric field. At that time, what will happen? The area vector of that surface will become what? Perpendicular to the electric field. Okay. Suppose this is the plane of the electric field, the whiteboard, okay, and we have taken the surface like this. So the plane of the surface, you can see that has become what? Parallel to the plane of the electric field. Now the area vector will be acting like this. Area vector will be perpendicular to the plane of the surface. So the surface is lying horizontally, so the area vector will be also perpendicular to the surface. It means area vector in this case will be what? Perpendicular to the electric field, and therefore the angle theta will be equal to 0 degree. Why? Because the angle theta which we are taking, that is the angle between the area vector and the electric field. So when theta is equal to 90 degree, that is plane of surface is parallel to electric field, then phi will be equal to EA cos 90, and we know cos 90 is equal to 0, therefore phi will be equal to 0, that is minimum. Okay, so when theta is equal to 90 degree, in that case the electric flux will be equal to 0. Here theta is the angle between electric field and the area vector, remember this. The third case is when the electric line of forces are entering the surface, then what will happen? In that case, the angle theta will be equal to 180 degree. Okay, so when the angle between electric field, means electric line of forces, and the area vector is equal to 180 degree, it means the electric line of forces are entering the surface. At that time, what will happen? Phi will be equal to EA cos 180, and we know cos 180 is equal to what? -1. So we will get the electric flux as minus EA. Is that clear? So these were the three cases which you must remember. Now I'll take the next topic electric flux density. Electric flux density. What is that? Electric flux density is the ratio of the electric flux to the total area of the surface. Okay, electric flux density is the ratio of electric flux to the total area of the surface. Okay, which can be further written as EA cos theta upon A. Okay, because we know electric flux is equal to what? EA cos theta. So EA cos theta upon A. So you can see from here A will be cancelled, and finally you will get what? As E cos theta. Okay. Now, if the plane of the surface is perpendicular to the electric field, means all the line of forces are perpendicular to the plane of the surface, then what will happen? Then cos theta will be equal to 1. So finally we can say electric flux density will be equal to E when cos theta will be equal to 1. Is that clear? So from here you can see that electric flux density is coming out to be E, means the electric field only. So the unit of electric flux density will be same as the unit of electric field. Remember this. Now let us talk about the unit of electric flux. We know that electric flux is equal to what? E dot dA. Phi is equal to integral E dot dA. Okay, and from here we will get phi is equal to E integral dA vector, and from here we can say phi will be equal to E dot A. Okay, so you can see that phi is the dot product of electric field and area. We know the unit of electric field is Newton per Coulomb square, and unit of area is meter square. Okay, the unit of electric field is Newton per Coulomb and the unit of area is meter square. So we can say that unit of electric flux will be equal to Newton meter square per Coulomb. Okay, so remember that the SI unit of electric flux phi will be equal to Newton meter square per Coulomb. So this was all about area vector and electric flux. In the next video we will see Gauss theorem. Thank you.